What's up, everybody? Back with Truth Does Not Exist. So some of you might be watching this on Odyssey, some people on YouTube, or some people on my on this channel or on my main channel. But as of now, I got a strike for some bullshit. It was a year-old video. It was actually the podcast that me and Zach did together. So they removed it, which I'm not surprised, and they gave me a strike. So, you know, I'm coming back here, but one thing I wanted to talk about today was, like, you know, why are we still using big tech and, you know, their products? Because there's so many alternatives that are better, that aren't, you know, turning off our ACs, that, you know, all that kind of stuff that's going on. You know, people getting kicked out of online businesses that they have, you know, because now mom and pop stores are online using big tech, and big tech cuts them off whenever they want to. So the first thing I want to show is I also wanted to test the stream. You know, I want to make sure everything here is working right. I'm going to stream on Odyssey too. I don't know if I'm going to delete that or not. I probably will. I'll just upload this there. But yeah, I'm going to do a stream on there, test it out, because I want to tell Zach, I think that you can stream on Odyssey now for free. I'm going to try it out, and if I can, I'm going to let him know, so that way he can live stream all this stuff without being removed on YouTube. So I was watching his video. I guess I can. Anyway, this is the video I was watching. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, yeah, let's get into this. Also, guys, you can call in to the number on the screen. It's my new call-in number. Oh, maybe I should skip this.
I've been looking at Bismarck. The numbers on the road signs for Bismarck are crazy. The latest sign I just passed said 31 miles to Bismarck. Guess what Bismarck equals in miles? 31. But one of my biggest critics in the world when I first found this research was my Uncle Lyle out here in Bismarck, North Dakota. He got absolutely lost my mind. And I'm just reminded around that same time that I found Gematria. Back then I was on Facebook, and my mom's family was huge. She has 9 siblings, and they all have a bunch of kids. There's a bunch of us from that side of the family. But they had this, well, they still have it. I've been banned from it since 2013. Almost been banned for a decade, but they call it the Strawberry Patch, and it's just where they share family stories and photos. And, oh, look what I found. Look at this old picture of Grandpa. Well, back in 2013, somebody posted a picture of my mom's dad as a sailor, and then I'll tell you what, it was the fruitiest post you've ever seen. I only met my grandpa, you know, a couple times when I was a kid, because I grew up in Portland, Oregon, and they live out here in North Dakota, which, if you drive straight through, it's today, but, yeah, I looked at the photo, and then I made a little joke online, like, oh, you know, maybe Grandpa, you know, maybe he went both ways. He was a sailor, you know what they say about guys in the Navy, those close bunk beds and all. And part of the reason I said that at the time is because my mom's family, again, there's 9 kids. The first 4 children were all girls. My mom's the 3rd oldest. Tom, Linda, Aunt Sherry, R.I.P. Aunt Sherry. She's the only one who's passed. She passed recently. She lived the hardest probably. And her husband passed 10 years before her. He was my favorite uncle growing up. Uncle John, he wasn't blood, he was married to Sherry. And he always told me, Zach, everything will give you cancer in this world, so just enjoy life. Well, he enjoyed life too much, he didn't live that long, R.I.P. It's too bad, but anyway, the three of us, Aunt Linda, Aunt Sherry, my mom Donna, and then Lori, and then the oldest boy is the fifth born, and his name is Lyle, and that's Uncle Lyle. And Uncle Lyle was married for a short period of time, and he had 2 sons. And shout out to Nathan and Alex for out there. Nathan thinks my work's stupid too. He made a lot in 2013. Again, when I first started this work, I only shared it on Facebook. But what was going on back then, when I made the little joke about my grandpa, is Lyle.
Oh, guys, I want to know if the audio is good or not.
The family had recently discovered that he was actually gay, and he'd been living with a man named Dave. Him and Dave have been happily living together now for, I think, over 10 years. But, yeah, I just made, I made some comments at the time. I was like, well, you think about it. So Linda, the oldest sister, she was once married to a man. She had 2 children, a boy and a girl. Shout out to Kristen and Ryan. But after she got out of that marriage, then she became a lesbian. She's been with a woman for 30 years now, for almost the whole time I've been alive. Since I was a little kid, she's been with a woman named Margaret. But, yeah, so I was thinking, I was like, well, the oldest child's gay, the first 4 were all women, the oldest boy's gay. Maybe somehow, like, if you are a gay male, maybe you're more likely to have a lot of female children. And he ended up having 9 children, 6 were women, 3 were men. And, anyway, the thing was, the family, when they found out that Lyle was gay, a lot of people disowned him. And like his youngest brother said he never talked to him again, and his youngest sister said she never talked to him again. He was an outcast of the family because he was gay. And I mean, you have to think, okay, 10 years ago, I mean, he was probably like in his mid-50s. So it's like they've been family all this time, they've always talked to him, they've always gotten along, and now after all these years finding out that he's gay, now he doesn't even count as a member of the family.
And I mean, that's so stupid and sick. I mean, the fact that you would cut off family for such a stupid reason, and, I don't mean to offend you, Zach, but your family sucks. Not that mine's any better. I have a lot of shitty family members. But, yeah, man, you got some fucked up family. And yeah, I mean, that's just fucked up that you would... it's just... It's part of the programming for the older generation, that they're, don't hate gays and whatever. And I mean, yeah, it does exist. People do hate gays. And I mean, it's not, when I say like faggot or whatever, I'm not like trying to like insult, it's just an insult and that's it. I'd say like 90% of the time that I say faggot, I'm not, saying it towards someone who's actually gay. And then, the N-word, I can't even say it because YouTube will put me in YouTube jail. And I mean, that's some other bullshit, YouTube, all these, YouTube jail, Facebook jail, you got your Instagram jail, Twitter jail, Reddit jail, I mean, it's BS, because, and Morpheus come on the stream, so that's what I want to talk about. So he gives an argument, and he says, without big tech, how can we stay in touch across the world? And don't say write letters because that's bullshit. It's a double-edged sword, I'm afraid. So that's pretty simple. I mean, without big tech, we communicated before the internet. And, you know, even during the internet, the early internet, there wasn't big tech really behind it, the same way it is now. I forgot what I was going to say. Alright, so, you know, it can be decentralized. You know, you have like a mesh network of computers, of servers, you know, and the networking. Because ISPs aren't big tech. You know, they're big companies, but they're not really big tech. They're just internet providers. It doesn't really have anything to do with the sites you visit. Yes, they monitor the sites that you visit, obviously, but you know, that's a completely different story. Well, not really, because I was going to talk about that too. So, you know, you don't need like Apple and Google and all these services. There's a dozen. Because here, I'm going to introduce you guys something free and open source software. You know, it's, you know, like free energy, that it's fake. This is like the opposite of that. You know, free and open source software means software that you can get for free, that's good, that you can use on a professional level, you know, for free. And Matt Smith sings Double-Edged Sword too. Stick around, Matt, because I want to explain it. You know, God damn it, fuck, what was I saying? Just escaped me. Anyway, so, you know, back before big tech, we had, oh, right, what I was saying about the ISPs. The ISPs and big tech are different, like Apple and, you know, the companies that actually lay down cable. It's all different because those companies are laying down the cable. They're just transmitting whatever website. So, you know, without big tech, we would have something decentralized. Well, as I was saying, free and open source software. So free and open source software, like, let's say you want a professional with 3D modeler, you know, for making 3D models. That's like professional. It looks really good. You know, it's up to date. It gets regular updates. You know, completely for free. You don't have to pay anything, and it doesn't spy on you or collect data or send it to the CIA or, you know, whatever other third party wants to get all that data. You know, and like I have it here, like I was saying, the 3D modeler. You know, Blenders are completely free and open source software. You know, it doesn't spy on you, and it's a professional grade, you know, for 3D objects and making 3D renderings and stuff, even benchmarking. And like you see, there's Photoshop and Premiere and whatever. Well, I'm going to introduce you to something else. Let's say Microsoft Office, right? Oh, that's so important. It's not. A, because there is WordPad. Where is it? Here we go. WordPad, you know, this is basic. This is all you need for writing. Don't come, oh, but Word has these features. You don't need features. You're typing. All you need is a keyboard, some text settings, and a page to write on, and you're good to go. You don't need anything else. So you have WordPad and Windows right here. It's pretty minimal, but it has all the features that you need to create a Word document. You know, I could do a script, bulletin board. I should actually probably do that, so I'm going to put that to the side. But then you also have, it's not installed on this computer, but LibreOffice. So LibreOffice, it's literally Microsoft Word. Well, it's not exactly. It's a free and open source version of like Microsoft Office. They're not associated with them. It's just like another Office software. So it's actually, you know, it's actually compatible with Word. So like you can read Word files and PowerPoint and Excel and all that stuff. which it has Excel, PowerPoint, Word, you know, and it's advanced. It has advanced features. It's pretty good. I don't have it installed in this computer, but you know, whatever. Yeah, that was as I was saying. Photoshop and Premiere. So a free and open source software that you have is, you know, Krita. You know, you have Krita. You know, you have GIMP for Photoshop. You even have PhotoGIMP, which is basically like a Photoshop version of GIMP that it has. You know, it has all of that. It's very similar to Photoshop and like the shortcuts and all that stuff, because that's kind of important when you're using Photoshop. Makes it faster. So then you have video editors. So the video editors are like DaVinci Resolve, I think, but there's actually some more. But this is one. I think it's free. I probably shouldn't have brought that one up. I don't know, but fuck, I forgot. Anyway, okay, I think I'll skip that one. Oh yeah, you know what? I'll show the video. I'll show part of a video. Oh, wrong channel. Okay. The Linux experiment. So he talks about free and open source editors. Fuck. Ah, man. Taking so long to find it. Here, oh wait, no. Here we go, switch to these open source apps.
Hey everyone, this is Nick, and not everyone can or wants to move to Linux, but this doesn't mean...
Oh, here's one, Audacity. They were doing some spooky stuff recently, but you know, there's other free and open source audio software. There's VLC Video Player. You know, that's a good one. You know, there's Blender, he mentioned. Inkscape is like Illustrator. And Krita is all the alternative to Photoshop 2 and GIMP. And then Darktable, which is alternative to Lightroom. and Kdenlive for a video editor. So you have Kdenlive, Handbrake as a video converter.
For mail clients, you can use Thunderbird or Mailspring. For web browsers, you have Firefox, Chromium, or Brave. You can replace Slack with Mattermost, Zoom, Jitsi. You have Joplin for note-taking, Natron to replace After Effects, Screencast or BRLcast to replace AutoCAD, and a ton more. And yes, as I said previously, not anyone can replace their proprietary software with open source software. But for people who want to learn a new skill and don't have any prior experience with a proprietary piece of software, why would you go to... If you've ever used OpenOffice, forget all about it, because LibreOffice is where it's at. It's faster, it looks better, it's more stable, and it's extremely customizable to let you work with either a toolbar and menu bar, or with a more modern ribbon. It comes with all the tools you might need for spreadsheets, presentations, visual databases, word processing, math formulas. It's basically a complete replacement for Microsoft Office, unless you're an Excel wizard and use macros all the time. It's also very compatible with Office file formats. And the best thing is, it doesn't cost a cent. It gets very frequent updates to bridge the few gaps that remain, make the interface more polished, and improve performance and compatibility. It's a very, very good program. If you had bad memories of OpenOffice or early LibreOffice versions, do give it a shot. It has evolved nicely and it's very, very powerful. Another solution is OnlyOffice. Its compatibility is better than LibreOffice, and I've been using it for a year or so now, trading files back and forth with people using Microsoft Office without any issues whatsoever. It offers less than LibreOffice with only a word processing module, a spreadsheet app, and a presentation tool, but it does all three very well. The app mimics the Microsoft Office look with the ribbon, and it can integrate with cloud services to edit files online and collaborate in real time. You can even run it on a server and access it through a web browser, which is what I do most of the time. Full disclosure, OnlyOffice is a regular sponsor of the channel. Not for this video specifically, but still, it bears mentioning. Let's complete this video with video production. For video editing, Kdenlive will probably be your go-to. It's a wonderful non-linear video editor with very powerful features to organize your media, edit your project, and render it in a format of your choosing. It has tons of transitions to smoothly go from one clip to another. It has a huge range of effects to stabilize footage, color grade, transform elements, or do compositing. You can completely rearrange the interface to suit your workflow and customize all the keyboard shortcuts. You can also use proxy clips to edit, to not tax your computer too much, add titles, download new effects and transitions from a built-in library, and even access a clip art repository. I have a few tutorials about Kdenlive on the channel. I left a link to the playlist in the card up top. I used Kdenlive to run the channel for at least 2 years, and apart from the lack of GPU acceleration, it's a fantastic program that basically does it all.
So, yeah, I hope it's not creating too much of an echo.
It can rip DVDs.
So I'm actually been trying to fix that.
Convert any format to any other. It can use any codec you might want for audio and for video, and any container format you prefer. It can even add filters to the resulting file, embed subtitles or chapter markers. And it has presets for a huge range of devices. To quickly convert your stuff into a format your device can actually read. If you'd like to automate this kind of conversion work, Handbrake also has a command line interface. I know that at least one person has an automated ripping station.
Okay, is that
Pop the
better?
disk in,
For
rip,
you
and
guys who are
convert it
watching?
before dropping it into a Plex server. I make use of it all the time to turn random video files into stuff that my video editor can actually work with. Definitely recommend it. Of course, the list doesn't stop here. For mail clients, you can use Thunderbird or Mailspring. For web browsers, you have Firefox, Chromium, or Brave. You can replace Slack with Matter.
Can you guys hear me when I turn that off? Does it sound good right now while I'm talking over, he's off?
Most.
Now how does
Zoom
it
with
sound now
Jitsi.
that he's
You have
talking?
Joplin for note-taking.
Let me know in the
Natron to
chat.
replace After.
I just want to see.
Okay, I think I got it. So yeah.
Effects. FreeCAD or BRL CAD. With tool panel.
So yeah, I wanted to show that, so you guys know. And I'm stuck on Windows, oh, I need Windows 10 or got 11, and it's like, you don't need Windows because now you have Linux, and Linux has gotten so much better, in the last few years that, it's gotten so much better that, you can use it for pretty much anything that you want to do. And you can use it for pretty much anything you want to do. Like, content creation, gaming, it's kind of like not there all the way in, but, I don't game. I never game on my computer, so, I don't know. It's fine for me. I can get away with using much lighter hardware. A funny way of saying crappier. I can get away with much worse hardware because, I have Linux, and, I only do, like, web browsing and stuff, which, above. I noticed with web browsing, like, even, like, compared to a Chromebook, an 8-core CPU and, like, 16 gigs of RAM at least, on web browsing just feels awesome. It's like you're coasting, like you're surfing. Especially me, I'm on the dark web, it's super slow, but it helps, if you're on a good CPU, because then that slow computer gonna slow it down more, a 4 gigs of RAM, 2-core system, or, ideally you want at least a 4-core, anything less is garbage, don't buy it, that's like ancient hardware. I actually got a ThinkPad, 2 of them, a little like 11-inch and something, and 15-inch, 16 gigs, i7. That's a really good computer. I love it. That's like my favorite laptop. I mean, it's awesome, and I got it only for like $140 on eBay, like with the battery, everything. And it's awesome. It's like the best fucking computer I have. And I put Linux on it, and I don't have to worry about Microsoft spying on me and sending their data to the government, and I don't have to worry about I mean, it's more than that, but it's just that like you're not getting spied on from all levels, and you're minimizing some, so that way you can isolate the ones that are really making a difference. So what you want to do is you just want to switch to open source, and stuff, specifically stuff that's not spying on you, because it's possible you can hide, and I got nothing to hide. Everybody has something to hide, always. Would you just put a webcam in your house, in every room of your house, your shower, your bathroom, your living room, your bedroom, everywhere, going all the time, watching you, microphones listening to you, everything. And not only that, it's all being broadcast live. Anybody can view it. Anybody at any place can decide anonymously to look at the stream and see what you're doing. You could be taking a fat shit. You could be trying to have sex with your wife. Everybody's going to be watching. You're taking a shower, that time that you hit a kid when the parents weren't around. All that. It's on live TV, for everybody to watch. Would that be what you want? Do you want that? No. Would you say, oh, what? So people can't look at you all the time? What, do you have something to hide? Yeah, everybody's got something to hide. I have something to hide, And anyways, people have a right to keep secrets. I mean, the government has a right to keep secrets, don't they? They're keeping secrets, and you know, but we can't, you know, and they come up with all this BS, oh, terrorism and whatever, as if that's a problem in this country, you know, and just all stupidity about like banning guns and whatever, you know, that's just, it's such a stupid concept. Oh, but the shooters, oh, they have access to guns. It's like, what do you mean they have access to guns? They paid they had like $50,000 worth of gear. How is that accessible to everyone? Everybody doesn't have $50,000, $60,000 to say, hey, I want to shoot up a school. Let me just casually get my $80,000 that I have so I can go do it, you know. Nobody can do that. So it's BS, you know. No kid has a dad who happens to have like $80 million of fucking guns, you know. It's not gonna happen. That's not the problem that you would need to worry about. And, you know, and this is all assuming that the ones on the news are even real, which they're not, you know, because we predict them, you know, and they're all by the same numbers, you know, Wednesdays, Saturdays are at a Walmart, you know, same BS. They got the 37-date numerology. I don't remember which one it is for that, but, you know, it's just BS. All this, so yeah, right, so as I was saying, so the access to guns, you know, saying, oh, we need to ban guns, it's like, and like I've said it, wouldn't more guns be the solution? Because if there's other armed people, then they'd be able to stop them. And I think the one in Texas, I mean, if you want to go into it assuming that this is all real, that one in Texas proves my point. Everybody should have a gun if you want to stop shootings. That's how you do it, you know? How many people go and shoot up a police station? Anybody do that? No. Why? Because they know that they're going to get shot. So if society is a bunch of people that have guns and someone wants to shoot up one of those things for whatever reason, you know, they know it's going to be suicide, you know, because, hey, that's a room full of armed people and they're going to shoot me if I do this. You know, probably right away. I won't even be able to do that much damage, you know. And, you know, and because I'm not the person who came up with this. I figured it out on my own, but, you know, I didn't come up with it. Other people have said it. You know, other people are saying it that they didn't hear me say it. You know, that's like, that's the answer. And then the news are like, oh, well, that's not the answer. But then, like, you know, because other people are saying it. They say, oh, no, that's not the answer. But then what they always do, they never say why. They just say, oh, yeah, that's stupid. It's like, oh, it's stupid. Oh, like gematria. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, chemistry in this guy. He's stupid. Oh, yeah, don't look at him. Don't worry about what he's talking about. He doesn't know. He needs his meds. You know, bullshit like that. You know, that these people say. So, you know, the news that never says why the stuff is wrong, because, you know, there is no reason. It's just a dismissal. So a person, the idiot, they just, oh yeah, this says it's wrong, yeah, it's wrong. You know, that kind of BS. These imbeciles, you know, they just believe it at face value. They don't even say why. You know, That's what they did to Zach. You know, try and make him look stupid, whatever. And then his prediction lands. You know. You know, where's the follow-up article? But yeah, that's how they dismiss it. They never say why. Why? Because then it would just prove them wrong. They just say it's not true. Oh no, it's fact check. You know, fact checking is the biggest bullshit ever. I mean, you know, and what's it on these stupid big tech corporations that we shouldn't even be on? You know, we don't need to be on Facebook. I mean, we don't even need to be on Facebook at all. Period. We don't even need a replacement for that. That's trash. You know, you want to be on YouTube? Be on YouTube. Look at where I am at. Odyssey. You know.
The issue, man.
I'm watching Odyssey over here. You know. Look at this. Odyssey. I can watch Zach's videos. You know, Zach's on Odyssey. You guys should subscribe here, watch him from here.
Make sure we're live. All right, welcome back. Take 2. I think maybe my phone was over. Hopefully that was the problem with why it kept cutting out. I turned on the AC, so the AC's blowing on the phone.
You know, and then social media, you don't need a replacement for Instagram. You know, all that stuff's trash. You have something for this, you know. And YouTube. I've seen the decline. You know, the golden age of YouTube is long gone, you know. This was a long time ago when, you know, people like Zach would be free. You know, Russian Vids even, because he had some good videos. And, you know, these people aren't around anymore. Flat Earth and Russian Vids is making all these shitty Flat Earth videos. You know, and because that's the only thing allowed on YouTube. Why? Because that's what they want. That's what they want. They're getting rid of all the valid conspiracies. You know, banning those, but then, oh well, the stupid ones, the ridiculous ones, the ones that make that group look crazy. Yeah, we'll leave those like Flat Earth and UFOs and aliens, you know, and all that BS, you know, and the whole Trump thing, you know, they all know the same stuff, you know. Now they're trying to make fun of gematria that way, you know. Oh yeah, Trump people talk about gematria, not any smart people who know what they're talking about, you know, like that dumb fucking bitch who was on that show, you know, the Jimmy Kimmel or something. I don't remember what his name was. Trevor Noah, I think it was. Yeah, Trevor Noah. They made fun of him on Trevor Noah. You know. And that's what they're doing. They're programming people, you know, to say, oh yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, someone made fun. Oh yeah, I said that was wrong. You know, and it gets in their minds. You know. But yeah, you have free and open source. You know, and don't use Windows or Mac and, you know, that crap, because it's just to spy on you, it's to control you, especially Apple. They're very controlling, and they're one of these big shitty big tech companies. You know, Apple, you know, all their products are trash, and you know, and it's verifiable. It's not even an opinion, it's fact. You know, look at Louis Rossman's I think Apple's Think Different. You know, that was a great, he said all the flaws of Apple. They don't know how to make a product, and they never have pretty much. You know, even ones that he didn't touch on. There's problems that their overheating problem is like 40, 50 years old at this point in their computers. Since the Apple III, you know, there's been overheating problems, and the G4, you know, some versions of it, the iMac, the first one, there's a big CRT one from '99. You know, the overheating, the modern laptops overheating, You know, all this stupid, all their crap. You know, same problem, and then the CPU dies and the computer dies because it's too hot, because that's the problem that it has. You know, and they keep making this because they don't put fans. You know, because you can't put fans. You know, and what Zach was saying, you know, they don't let you, you know, buy from an app within 2 weeks of getting it. Why? It's just stupid. Or to prevent fraud. It's like, how is that going to prevent fraud? You know, people who are fraudsters are just going to get their money 7 days later. That doesn't fucking affect anybody. You know, that's stupid. And, you know? Yeah, so, you know, the people who are committing fraud, you know, they just get their money later. They're going to get it anyway. It doesn't affect them. You know, those people are still going to spend money on shitty fucking fake-ass apps with malware. It's going to happen. You know, 2 weeks or not, it's irrelevant. You're just trying to control. Oh, give up. What are they training you to do? Give up your freedom for safety. You know, be safe. You know, the big tech blankie. You know, they're telling big tech fairy tales. You know, they're putting on the big tech blankie. You know, feeding you a big, feeding you a big tech jam. You know, you know. To you, you know, with their bullshit fairy tale crap, you know, it's BS, you know, it's programming. They're programming you, and they're trying to train you to give up your freedom for safety because that's what they want. They come up with a fake problem. Oh, malware. Yeah, I mean, malware is a problem, but, you know, it's like a false flag, basically, you know. I probably can't even say that. See, this is the other thing on these shitty platforms. You can't say anything anymore. You know, it's bullshit. You know, people like Leafy, you know, a content creator. You know, I don't really watch him, but I know he was very. I guess the best way to describe him is like the exact opposite of advertiser friendly was this guy. He was the absolute end, the most un-ad friendly. You know, person on YouTube, pretty much. You know, he got banned off of YouTube, just banned. That's it. He's gone. You know, and I wish that these creators, I just wish I could tell them, because so many struggle. You know, they're just making words where they're censoring themselves on watching videos where people are talking about something. They're not even showing the thing they're talking about because they can't. And I shut the video off because it's a piece of shit. You know, I shut the video off because it's crap. Why am I gonna watch that? You know, I'm not gonna watch that. That's like, I can't see the thing. It's just stupid. You know, it's like, just why even make the video in the first place? You know, okay, because they have to. And you know, on Odyssey you can have these. You don't have these problems. You know, because YouTube just needs a competitor. You know, and. You know, and people, brands can't advertise. That's not true, because guess what? When there's a school shooting that's, you know, supposedly horrible, you know, and it's like that happens, and then their response is like Coke and McDonald's, and they're trying to get their ads in, you know, for a school shooting. But are they endorsing it because they put ads on content that's about a school shooting? No. Why? Because it's stupid. That's not how things work. You know, they don't care what they're, you know, there's fucking
you know, Zombieland, you know, like that movie, you know, some shitty zombie movie, you know, that's like they're killing zombies and shooting them in the head or whatever, and it's like, you know, it's like that's fucking made to be advertised on, you know, advertisers doing, yeah, blowing out zombie brains, yeah, whatever. That's ad friendly, you know, is that ad friendly? You know, it's just stupid. Porn. Go on Pornhub right now. You know, what are you gonna see? Bunch of fucking ads everywhere. You know, people having sex. That's not ad friendly. Well, it is. You know. Even the goddamn dark web is advertiser friendly. There's a ton of advertisements on there. Advertisers. Nothing's not advertiser friendly. There's literally advertisements for pedophiles. There's not, you know, it's not, there is absolutely no, like advertisement, you know, like that you go so low that nobody can put an ad on you. People don't care. They'll do it. So that's just a bullshit argument too, you know? And, you know, on Odyssey, I want this to thrive. I want people like Leafy on here, where they're doing their thing, showing like, hey, you know, you can make this content. You can still be around, just not on YouTube. Fuck YouTube. That's all viewers that you're bringing to a new site. Look at how many views this thing has. Look at this. There's actually 3 fucking views. You know, it's a shame. There should be more. I wish that there were hundreds of people on here. You know, I want to promote this. And I have a channel on here, Truth Does Not Exist, also. And you know, that's just what I want to do. You know, we can watch his videos. You can watch a lot of people, and hey, put your own videos on here so that way other people can watch more stuff. You know, because right now content's limited because there's not too many people on here. You know, so you gotta get more people. That's the solution. But yeah.
We're live here. I think we're live. But so I thought I would lighten the mood in the strawberry patch with a little joke about Grandpa. And I mean, if you look at the photo, I mean, if you didn't know my grandpa and all you saw was the photo of him as a sailor with the way he was posed and his cute little pose, you'd think, yeah, he does look gay. And you know, I thought the family would think maybe it was funny, but man, everybody thought it was so horrible for me to suggest that Grandpa could have been gay. And then I was just like immediately 86 from the strawberry patch. And nobody's really talked to me in the family since. It's going on about 9 years since I've talked to anyone in my family outside of, you know, my mom and my dad. And my sister hardly even talks to me now, too.
And
But,
you know what, Zach? You're better off, Zach, because those are shitty people that you don't have to be around anymore. You don't have to worry about those people. You know, you're better off without them. And, you know that. You know, it's, you know, it's because it's true.
yeah, it's just, you know, it's just too bad.
To be brought down by that negative energy, you know, by these people's bullshit.
That we're so silly about so many things, you know? It's like, again, I'm not into the whole gay thing. I kind of think it's, like, to me personally, for 2 men to be together, it just seems kind of gross. That's me personally, but I mean, for the person who it's not gross to, like Uncle Lyle, it's not like I'm going to hate Uncle Lyle. You know, I'd happily still talk to Uncle Lyle, but Uncle Lyle doesn't want to. Okay, that's the other thing I didn't tell you. Uncle Lyle thought it was horrible what I said about his father. It's like, what? What in the world? How can okay, me suggesting that your dad might have been gay is horrible when you're gay? I mean, you just can't even make sense of people, really. And that kind of is the problem in America. You just can't make sense of these people.
Yep, and I like it. You know, he calls out people. He's calling out people on their bullshit right now. You know, his idiot family. And you know what, Zach? You're better off without them. That's why.
You know, to think that to yourself when you're sitting down, you're like, man, I don't talk to my family. You know, think about that, because those kind of people, you know, you want to get away from. You want to cleanse your mind of. You know, they're a tax, like a burden. You know, they suck energy out of you, and you lose motivation to do stuff. You know, it slows you down in life. No, you don't want that. So you want to get away from that. So yeah, that's my advice to you, Zach. You know, you're better off without them. You know, don't worry about them. Be grateful for the ones that you got. But you know, just because they're blood relatives doesn't mean they're family. You know, the close friends. You know, I don't know if you have any. But yeah, like, you know, just people to, that you can be friends with, that tell you stuff, you know, whatever. Yeah, you know, just judging people on something that's just bullshit, you know. Why do they care? It's not even in their business.
Don't trust government, but they go out and vote, and then they think if you question government, then you're a conspiracy theorist. It's like you just start surveying Americans and their beliefs. It's like nothing they really think makes any sense. But again, I know the one thing that's making people mad about homosexuality is all the promotion of it on television, and all the marketing of it to children, which I agree, that's not right. I mean, children will learn about sex and sexuality as they get older naturally, just living in the world. It doesn't need to be marketed to them from a young age, and that really is what's going on now. But yeah, if you're out there, Uncle Lyle, and you want to hop in the car and convoy with me, you can come out to New York City. Shout out to Aunt Lori too. Aunt Lori and Uncle Lyle don't talk about her. Aunt Lori's my biggest hater in the world. She thinks I am an absolute nutcase, and she just thinks there's no lies about 9/11. It's so obvious the terrorists, the bad guys attacked us, and we've been doing the right thing ever since. And anyway, we are making our way through the great state of North Dakota. Again, for all the people in Minneapolis, I hope you guys are coming out. I'm still planning for 38th in Chicago, George Floyd Corner. I had a realization about Minneapolis. The interstate that goes there almost all the way, you do a slight transition right before you get there, but the interstate that goes and cuts through North Dakota and goes almost all to Minneapolis is Interstate 94. And I was thinking about that because, again, remember George Floyd, remember the number that goes with 94, 320, like Sidney Poitier dead at 320 days after his birthday. In the case of George Floyd, he was pulled out of the Mercedes ML 320 and killed in front of police cruiser 320. And again, Roman Catholic Church has that gematria 320 and 94. And again, my mom grew up in a little town in North Dakota called Esmond, North Dakota. And it was divided. Half the town was. It's all making so much more sense, Truth Seeker. St. Paul, Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, Gemini, the George Floyd killing in Gemini, again pulled out of that Mercedes ML 320, killed in front of police cruiser 320. The city's on Interstate 94. Remember, in gematria, Roman Catholic Church equals 320 and 94, like Sidney Poitier, dead at age 94. 320 days after his birthday. Of course, the first black actor to win Best Actor, won it for the 94-minute film, Lilies of the Field, about the Catholic nuns. And we're almost at George Floyd Square. See you soon, Truth Seeker.
Nice place.
Welcome back.
mom. She's gonna turn 70. All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. On the road to Milwaukee from Minneapolis, the Big M's. And speaking of Big M's, mom, she's gonna turn 70 September 8th. And again, she moved to Minneapolis once upon a time as a 18-year-old girl. Actually, she was out here for her 18th birthday. She got here at the end of 17 and turned 18 out here. And tonight she just revealed something to me that she's always kept a secret her whole life. I love when mom reveals her secrets at age 70, but again, it's just funny. My mom was saying on her 18th birthday, her friend that was out here got her to try mescaline, but she said everybody was already really drunk, and then everyone started acting really crazy, and one of her friends started to freak out, and then so she never wanted anything to do with any drugs like that again. And yeah, I was just thinking, it's funny that my mom will turn 70 years old, moved out here in 1970. That means it was 52 years ago, right? 52 years ago she moved out here, and of course that's the big Minnesota number, and I'd never been to Minneapolis before today. And then it's funny, the group that I was with, they suggested eating at Margaritaville in the Mall for America, or the Mall of America. And again, it's named after Jimmy Buffett. And my mom, she likes Jimmy Buffett. She likes a lot of different musical acts, but she's a Jimmy Buffett fan too. She likes the song Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett's big hit. But he's got the Pina Colada song too. She likes that one. But yeah, it's just funny just thinking about it, because I hadn't really thought about. I knew my mom moved out here when she was young, but just been on the road. She said like, oh yeah, I moved out there when I was in 70. I was only 18 years old. I can't believe how old I am now. But yeah, she's never told me about her mescaline experience before. She's always said her whole life she never really tried any drugs. She never really tried any drugs. Recently, she revealed that she tried smoking weed when she was younger. When I was younger, she always said she never tried anything. And again, I imagine she did that because as a parent, she thought it would be better to, go along with the cultural narrative of don't do drugs, drugs are bad. She's grown up in that generation too. The 60s were the experimental drug era, and technically she was a teenager then, but she turned 18 in 70, so there were already some perceptions out there about what was going on. She came from a conservative Christian family in North Dakota, but yeah, I just found it funny that tonight she reveals she tried mescaline. Of course, Aldous Huxley, he wrote the book about Through the Doors, or the book about mescaline, Through the Doors of Perception. But what I said to my mom tonight, I've actually never tried mescaline in my life. It's a hallucinogenic drug for people who don't know. It's like the old school LSD. Before there was LSD, there was mescaline. And there's all sorts of philosopher types like Aldous Huxley who swear by it and say it's an important experience for people to have. 1 second, True Seeker. But oh good, it looks like I'm finally coming to a place where there's hotels, but excuse me. But the thing about drugs is, that's what's frustrating. We spend so many years in school as children, and we don't really learn very important lessons that we should learn. In a world where there's drugs, you should learn about those drugs, the good and the bad, how to responsibly use it, how to avoid a bad situation. That should be part of our childhood. Real education about things that exist in the world that we will come across as people living in it. And another one of those things is food and nutrition. They don't teach us properly about food and nutrition. And I said to my mom tonight, I said, maybe you would have liked mescaline had you not been drunk and with a bunch of people who didn't know what they were doing, who were wasted, probably taking too much. And, that's the thing. People have these bad experiences, and then they think their bad experience is the same experience everyone else is going to have. When again, there's an Aldous Huxley of the world who's very well educated and knowledgeable and scientific and knows how to use it responsibly and in a beneficial way. And, that should have been taught. That should have been taught. So my mom and her friends, they didn't have this horrible drug experience. But yeah, I just find it funny, my mom sharing that tonight. I was just like, too many M's, Minneapolis, mescaline, mom. So, it really is big M around here, isn't it? Minnesota, Milwaukee. But, yeah, en route to Milwaukee. And happy early birthday, Mom. She was just reminiscing on all the great old days.
There's a lot of Minneapolis, mescaline, and mom.
That's the other thing, man. I just realized it's true for all of us. But, like, if you have trauma in your childhood, it will truly shape who you are, and it will impact every inch of your life going forward. That's why it's important people do a good job as parents. But, again, my mom, just so many children in that family, and just, like, favorites were picked as children, and, just pecking order, and rivalries and dysfunctionality, and it's sad because they're 70 years old and they still have the same problems they had when they were children in the house. It's just the same for everybody. It's like, and ultimately when you think about it, it's just like not proper training or education. I don't even know what the right word is anymore. I didn't want to use the words that the system uses. We call it education, going to school, but we don't get educated. We get indoctrinated. It's like proper education. And we have so much of our childhood taken from us. There's so much time to teach all of this stuff right. But instead it's all filled up with Christopher Columbus and moon landing and Titanic sinking and likely all this false history, half-truth history. So yeah, anyway, for all the young people out there with children, I mean, it is important that you do, educate yourself on childhood development and realistic expectations, and trying not to make the mistakes that so many other parents make. But yeah, I feel bad for my mom, because I realize the reason she has this negative outlook on life for everything. By the way, since I was just in Minneapolis, R.I.P. to Prince. Remember, he had When Doves Cry. He said, my mom's never satisfied. By the way, that was the other thing my mom dropped on me. She's like, that's not very good, Zach, that only about 20 people came out. I said, well, it's good that 20 people came out. I said, had it been longer notice, had I marketed Minneapolis all year like 9/11, I'm sure we would have had even more. That was the mistake I made. But hey, I was happy with who came out. It was a nice, cohesive group. Everyone got along, nice conversations, people linked up. I mean,
You guys want to know what I'm having? I'm having Papadon. Indian crackers. Basically, it's like, oh man, so fucking good. It's like a really good version of popcorn, but like way better, like way more high class. Fry it myself. Awesome, you gotta try it.
in a way, I do
Papadon.
wish it was more, but I'm not complaining about the people who came out. And had I stayed at one spot, we might have had a lot more people eventually, but that might have been the mistake. But yeah, we just got to the neighborhood and it was just dead, man. So it didn't seem like that was the right place to be. There was no one there. Anyhow, and that's actually one of the sad realizations from this year, from just being around and just everybody's community. I mean, they've changed the land we live in. It's the new normal, as they call it. But God, there's just less people out and about, and more people afraid of everything. Cooties, everything. Mass shooters. It's easier to just stay home and watch Netflix, or I guess put on your virtual reality headset. But yeah, I mean, even though we're deep in the game, Truth Seeker, I still got the optimism that the change can be sparked. Like I said earlier, if we couldn't change something, they wouldn't be censoring us. So, anyway.
Yep, Zach's in line with the agendas. He knows exactly what's going on. He keeps in the know.
Just wanted to, again, let people know one more time. Tomorrow, Milwaukee area. And then I do intend to get over to Chicago for the later part of the day. So, One last check-in, Truth Seeker. And again, Milwaukee, Chicago tomorrow. Well, actually, I guess technically it's later today. We just ticked over here. On my car, I still have the West Coast time. Back home, it would be 10 p.m., but out here, it's midnight. My body still thinks it's 10 p.m. on the West Coast, though. So. Anyhow, thanks again, Truth Seeker. Look forward to seeing everybody in the Milwaukee area tomorrow, and then Chicago later in the day. And then I believe after Chicago, the next stop is Detroit, probably for the very next day. Shout out to Hess85, I appreciate it. But yeah, I think, again, tomorrow or Wednesday, I'll just say Wednesday, Milwaukee area, University, maybe the Jesuit one, and then Chicago. And then the next day, Detroit. And then I think Friday I'm going to pack in Cleveland, Buffalo, and then get into New York City that night. Get a decent rest, and then be ready for 9/11 weekend. So maybe possibly I can get Detroit and Cleveland in the same day. I'll see if that works. We'll see. I know after Detroit, I'm pretty sure Cleveland's the next stop. All right, thanks again, Truth Seeker, and thank you to all the people in Minneapolis who came out. It really was great to It is Tuesday, September 5th, 2022, and we are in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the George Floyd Memorial. And for those of you guys coming out to meet, we're doing a change of itinerary. We're actually going to move to the Mall of America because there's actually, unfortunately, not a lot of traffic here at the George Floyd Memorial. So Mall of America, it's about 15 minutes from where I am. So I'm going to head over there as soon as I finish this quick stream. But apologies for the change in location. If you're on your way here right now, apologies, just bear with me. We're going to meet at the Mall of America because there'll definitely be people there. Once upon a time, and maybe it still is, it used to be the biggest mall in the world. But what I want to show you is how the memorial, that's supposed to be where he was pinned down, right? So this is actually on the corner of 38th and Columbus. Of course, in the news, you always heard 38th and Chicago. Well, Chicago's just a block down where the Cub Foods is. The Cub Foods, remember, that's where he was arrested. Something about using a counterfeit $20 bill. So I just want you to think about this. How did he go from, if you guys remember, he was arrested by a police cruiser 830, and then he was moved here in front of the police cruiser 320. By the way, shout out to Ty and Alex. They were already here when I got here. We had some Truth Seekers already waiting for me. I appreciate that. But let me just walk down to where the store was, because I want you to think about this. I mean, how did it go from being arrested by the store, by police cruiser 830, to being pinned down in the middle of the street a block away? And again, one more time, George Floyd, he was in the Mercedes-Benz ML320, killed in front of police cruiser 320, and Minneapolis is right off Interstate 94. Remember where 320 and 94 come together. We just saw Sidney Poitier die at age 94, right before the 94th Oscars, 320 days after his birthday. And of course, in Gematria, Roman Catholic Church equals 320 and 94. Like death equals 38, like Minnesota equals 38 on the corner of 38th. And 201, we got another Truth Seeker out here. We got 3 of them. What's up, man? Hey, did you want to be on camera? Sure. Okay. Those gentlemen down there are with us too. That's Ty and Alex. They were waiting for me. Okay, right on. What's up, man?
I'm Steve.
Steve, great to meet you.
You too.
Hey, thanks for being out here.
Thank you.
Did you want to say something to the people?
No, man, I've been just excited to meet you.
All right.
Yeah, I just my buddy through Gematria. In fact, he was 24 my way about 6 months ago.
Very cool.
About 200 hours in. Minneapolis, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. So 6 months, but you took to the work. Very cool. Yeah. Was it the first video or did it take a few?
It was the first one. I was kind of blown away. I was, it's yeah, I watch as many as I can, and I'm still it's like your mind is blown a little bit because you're just
Sure.
like, dude, is this a coincidence? No, this ain't no coincidence, man.
When I drove into the city and saw it was Interstate 94 and the big Catholic buildings and St. Paul, it just all dawned on me because I always talk about how he was, again, pinned down in front of a police cruiser 320 after getting taken out of a Mercedes-Benz ML 320. And again, we recently had the death of Sidney Poitier 320 days after his 94th birthday, right before the 94th Oscars. And again, he won his Best Actor for the 94-minute film about the Catholic nuns. And again, they're big Catholic numbers, Roman Catholic Church, 320 and 94. So it just makes so much sense now. It's just like, oh my God, I didn't catch that at the time when it happened. But whenever you come to a location, just things start to make a lot more sense.
Welcome to George Floyd Square, baby.
I appreciate that. Are you from here originally?
I lived on Portland for about 2.5 years.
That's funny.
Yeah.
My mom was just telling me that Portland copied Minneapolis when they set up their city. My mom used to live out here before she moved to Portland. So, what else my mom just blew me away with is she said she used to live on Bryant Avenue here. I was like, what, Bryant Avenue in Minneapolis, the original home of the Lakers?
Yeah.
So,
It's a pretty chill scene here. There's not much going on, but I don't know how many other truth seekers are going to be here.
well, they're saying that we should probably go to Mall of America instead. A lot more traffic there.
Mall of America, Nicollet Avenue.
Are you cool with that plan? You want to head over there with us? Okay. If you want, you can even come with me. I can drive you back. I might stink a little bit, though. I need a shower. Been in the car too long. I've been in the car too long.
Right on. Right over there is your people.
Alex and Ty, those two gentlemen right there.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. All right, we got 3 truth seekers there, you guys. Again, if you're coming out, just head over to the Mall of America instead, because we're about to bounce. But yeah, isn't this weird? Like, how does it happen here? How does the arrest happen here? But then the scene is all the way down there. Unless there's some, I go back and read the story if he tried to run from the cops or something. I don't ever remember them reporting that in the news, though. Menthol tobacco shop. Isn't that what they said? He was like trying to buy cigs with a fake 20, and remember it was right after Skull and Bones member Steve Mnuchin. If you guys caught in the thumbnail, the dude who walked by the back of his jacket said Yale. I was like, what? Remember Steve Mnuchin, who's Yale Skull and Bones. Just right before all this happened, he announced they weren't going to do the $20 Harriet Tubman bill. And don't forget, Harriet Tubman equals 201 like George Perry Floyd. Remember, he was killed exactly 201 weeks after Adama Traore, who was killed on the 201st day of 2016. And we know that's the Jesuit calling card. And here we are in the big Catholic city, the Twin Cities. Again, it happened in the time of Gemini, the twins. So
Pretty sure it's the best time of my life.
let me check out a little bit more of this scene here that they've set up, though. This is interesting.
Wow.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm blessed, my brother. Truly.
Good to be blessed, indeed.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And highly favored. Highly.
Good for you, man. He's blessed and he's faded. I love it. Is weed legal in Minnesota? No, not yet.
They just legalized edibles.
Edibles, though.
Yeah.
But you can't smoke.
But and it can't even be like pot edibles. It's got to be like what are they? Is it like not cannabis? Like
Oh, THC maybe.
Yeah, yep.
Or not THC, or maybe CBD.
Yeah,
the
yep,
painkiller.
yep.
The painkiller one. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
CBD sucks.
Very interesting. How long has this memorial been set
Had that, no effect, none.
up for? Was it set up as soon as it happened?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't remember how long it took, but hang on, I'm just gonna see.
Yeah. Your
It didn't take, all this was actually covered with like a gang of flowers and everything at first, so
Sure.
it was also kind of impossible for traffic to get through
I see.
all the flowers.
I see.
And then, they had it set up at the bus stop first, but that wasn't the actual place where he died at, so that's where they have this at now.
Where they set up the memorial with the fist, is that where he was pinned down in the street?
No.
Right here, right
here.
Oh, it was right here.
right in front of her.
Okay, so they just set the fist up there. I see.
Yeah, that's like kind of blocking like a barrier, kind of like one of these things. A roundabout, kind of. They were gonna do a makeshift roundabout here, Dave.
I see. I see.
Oh my God, this nerve hurts. Well, yeah, that would be awesome. Like days like this to sit in the hot tub. Is that the guy?
No, I don't know.
Well, that explains it. So I guess this was the spot where the memorial is, and this reminds of Buffalo, how they set up the memorial there at the tops.
Austin did?
All right, you guys.
So that dude in that Jeep.
Well, we've documented the site. Again, if you're coming out in Minneapolis, we're going to switch it up to Mall of America just because there's a lot more foot traffic and we are trying to engage with people. So we're going to head over to the Mall of America and see who we can talk to. But yeah, we got 3 people who've turned up already. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, take care. They got George Floyd's face on the bus stop. They got it like that in Seattle too. Actually, I was just in Seattle. They actually have a huge tribute to Chadwick Boseman down there now, close to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which is interesting. I'm gonna have to look up who Drew Davis is. I saw his name in a few different spots, so he must be a similar story. Drew Davis, double D, 4'4" on the 44th parallel. Remember Derek Chauvin, 44 years old. If you guys are new here and you don't know all the work I've done on George Floyd, I'd encourage you to download my ebook and read the chapter on his death. There's a lot to it. And again, we knew it was very Catholic, and it's making so much more sense after just driving into the city. So. All right, you guys, this is going to be a short, brief stream. I will be going live as soon as I get back over to the Mall of America. Sorry for the confusion for people coming out, but and then when I'm there, I'll let you guys know what spot in the parking lot or wherever we are. I imagine it's a big complex since it's such a big mall, but we'll find the right spot and we'll make it clear and we'll hang around there for a while. I think I'm gonna spend the night in Minneapolis. What do you think about that boy up there with the monarch butterfly wings on? And oh my God, let me zoom that in. What number is on his shirt? Can I hold it steady enough? Is that 47 on his shirt? If it is, man, don't forget. Monarch Mind Control, MK Ultra, that's CIA. CIA since 1947. All right, Truth Seeker, see you soon at the mall. And appreciate everyone tuning in and hitting the like. And,
when you got your phone access, yeah.
We'll be back shortly.
I just don't understand why I would have had to call the person when I told the lady when I called her off the phone yesterday. I'm like, I said I would.
How long has that ended for? Oops, sorry guys. Yeah, that's not good. No.
It's all making so much more sense, Truth Seeker. St. Paul, Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, Gemini, the George Floyd killing in Gemini, again pulled out of a Mercedes ML 320, killed in front of Police Cruiser 320. The city's on Interstate 94. Remember, in Gematria, Roman Catholic Church equals 320 and 94, like Sidney Poitier, dead at age 94. 320 days after his birthday. Of course, the first black actor to win Best Actor, won it for the 94-minute film, Lilies of the Field, about the Catholic
Guys,
nuns.
call it number on the screen.
And we're almost to George Floyd Square. See you soon, Truth Seeker.
You know? Oh, yeah. You know, video.
All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. Looks like we got someone in the chat. Thanks for being the first in line. I guess that means we're online. And again, shout out to the good people of Minneapolis. We just had a very nice meeting of the Truth Seekers in Minneapolis. Apologies to anyone who came out to meet us but couldn't find us. I should have maybe just stayed with the Fist, but once we got to the Fist, we saw there wasn't much going on there. Very quiet. It was worse than Yakima. And I think once we got to the mall was kind of dead too. And we realized, there was a good number of people that already come out. And we said, well, maybe what we're just supposed to do is just get together, have a nice moment, meet each other, see if we can do some networking. And it was really cool. There was probably upwards of 20 people who came out. And again, had a nice meal together, a lot of conversations, hung out for 2-3 hours at least. New contacts were made, and hopefully something like what has manifested in Texas will come out of Minneapolis now. Again, you got the group of truth seekers after the Dallas meeting in April. They're out pounding pavement together, meeting up, going out, doing fun things together, feeling less isolated in the world. That's so important as truth seekers, to not feel isolated. And you know what? A good number of them that came out today, they were into things that I'm not into. But you know what? They came out anyway. Some people said, Zach, I love your work, but, I really do care about Jesus. Sometimes I, have to plug my ears when you're ranting. I said, well, you know what? I really appreciate that, you can truly turn the other cheek in this regard and still support what I'm doing. And that is why there are good Christian people. So shout out to them who came out. There were flat earthers who came out today. You know me, I'm not crazy about the flat earth, but they were really cool people. Glad they came out. And, I need my voice back. Hold on, True Seeker. Let me see if I got some water in here. I got a drop like I'm in the desert. Somebody may or may not have might have given me a really nice pre-roll, and shout out to that person. But yeah, I'm like the Cottonmouth King here. But it was awesome, you guys. The only thing that could have made it cooler is if the whole city showed up caring about the truth and wanting to network and do something. And the thing is, like I was talking to some of the people about, this is the first time we come together in Minneapolis. Maybe the next time around, other people with their platform, they say, you know what, that looks cool. I want to do that with my community as well. Make it a bigger thing. Just keep making it bigger. And just say, listen, everybody who's showing up to this thing, they're kind of sticking their neck out there. They want to, they want to change this world we live in. They're willing to come out and stand up for important things that they might be ridiculed for by their friends and family. And essentially that's why it's easy to find community within what we're about as people, because again, for caring about the truth, it makes us outcasts again amongst our friends and our family. And you hear that story time and time again. And it's so important to have community and network and realize you're not alone. So anyhow, great showing in Minneapolis. Lots of cool people, all ages, very diverse community. Again, shout out to the man who was there was a man in town for business. He was working out here and heard we were coming, and he coordinated it with his work trip. So he's already out here working, but then he made the extra time to come out and hang out with us. And big shout out to Alex. Alex was the first man there. And I thought I was hearing things when I was rolling up on the George Floyd scene, because I was like a block away or 2 blocks away, and I thought I heard somebody yell my name. And I looked around and I didn't see it. But it turned out there was a gentleman that was already on the spot, ready to meet up. And he had a lot of good, helpful tips. So shout out to Alex. Like I said, he's got the letter A, #1, first man on the scene. But great guy. And thank you also, Alex. Alex bought a book for somebody, but then they turned out to be not that interested in it. So he brought it, and he brought it to the group in case somebody else needed it tonight. And he found Steve, who was awesome. Shout out to Steve, who's lived in Portland and Minneapolis. Those are the same 2 cities my mom's pretty much lived in besides growing up in North Dakota. She moved to Minneapolis in 1970, and then after that to Portland. And you know what I found out about my mom's life today that I never knew before? When she lived in Minneapolis, she lived in North Minneapolis on Bryant Street. And I just thought how funny that was, man. Because, again, just, the Lakers being from Minneapolis and Kobe. And a lot of the people in Minneapolis that came out today, they found out about my work because of the George Floyd coverage. And I remember when the George Floyd thing was going on, I was still super censorship mode. But even back then I could get better views. We had some great live streams back then with like 2,000 people in the stream. I mean, that never happens now. So I felt like we were going to wake up millions of people when the George Floyd coverage was going on, because we were getting some views on that, and again, we had such important points to share about what they did with that. But yeah, I need my voice back. Anyway, again, shout out to the Minneapolis people. Minneapolis people were awesome, and the next stop, you guys, that the Minneapolis people, they also told me I shouldn't go to Chicago next. I should go to the Wisconsin area. So I think what I want to do, well, you know what? I'll just put it this way. Maybe I won't reveal my plans. I'll just kind of show up, you know. Just look for the live stream tomorrow morning, okay? Be tuned into the channel. Make sure you subscribe to Gematria Effect News 24, the one you're on, 25, 23, 22, Gematria Effect Sports. You never know when the suspensions are just going to pop up out of nowhere. And I will be streaming tomorrow early morning in the Milwaukee area. And I think I know just the appropriate place to go. The clue is the guy who took the 201 test. Who was known for Saturday Night Live and Tommy Boy. And if you haven't seen Tommy Boy in a minute, the clue might be in the opening of that film. So. But yeah, I think that might be a fitting place to go tomorrow, because it's in the Milwaukee area. And yeah, I'd love to talk to the students about if they're familiar with the movie Tommy Boy. These younger people, maybe they don't even know about that movie. That movie's before their time, the kids in college now. If they don't know about Tommy Boy, then again, maybe they do, because they go to the... before I give it all away. But yeah, I want to talk to the students about... that whole thing they did to Chris Farley. If you guys have not seen Tommy Boy in forever, or maybe you've never seen it before, watch it, and watch how in the beginning he answers the question incorrectly. The answer is John Hancock, the most famous of the 56 signers on the Declaration of Independence in terms of names. That's why I've got the phrase, can I get your Hancock on that? You know, meaning your signature. The movie Hancock with Will Smith has a joke about that. Don't forget, Enemy of the State came out 56 days after Will Smith's birthday on Joe Biden's 56th birthday. But again, he answers the question wrong about John Hancock as Herbie Hancock, the musician. And then R.I.P. to Chris Farley, they said he died in the John Hancock building. And of course, the movie Tommy Boy, it ends with Chicago and footage of, you know, the Chicago skyline and the John Hancock building. And but yeah, watch the beginning of that film. You won't miss it. You won't miss it. And if you don't know what school that is that he's going to, look it up. So anyhow, that's the plan for tomorrow. Stay tuned for the stream tomorrow. Let me see, how far is it from here? Yeah, if it's not, it'll either be late morning or right around noontime. Maybe I sleep longer than I think, because I didn't get enough sleep last night to get out here in enough time to start the trip, really get it moving. But yeah, there will definitely be a stream in the Milwaukee area tomorrow, and then from there I'll head to Chicago. And if all goes according to plan, the same time about I got into Minneapolis tonight, around 5 p.m., I'm going to try to do the same thing in Chicago tomorrow. If time doesn't permit, then I'll do Chicago the next day. But yeah, anyhow, stay tuned for the streams. If you're in those areas, you know, I'll hang around those places for a few hours. So if you're in those areas and you pick up on the stream and you're free and you can make it, you'll make it. Just stay tuned to the channel. Because again, when you're traveling, it's hard to be on an exact time schedule. You don't know if there's going to be a traffic jam, or it's the day you get a flat tire, or, you know, who knows? You just never know what could happen. Somebody rear ends you. But hopefully none of that happens. It's just I'm just saying those are the next 2 stops, Milwaukee and then Chicago. And then I think from Chicago it's Detroit, Cleveland, Buffalo, and then New York City. So get into New York City Friday night. That's the plan. I don't know, I was doing something wrong getting out of here in Minneapolis, but it seemed like it was a lot of freeways to connect to get it from Minneapolis to the one that gets going in the direction of Milwaukee. I was like, God, it seems like this should be an easier transition. But anyway, we finally got on the one. Shout out to Mr. Scott. I appreciate that, Mr. Scott. Thank you very much. And the screen that I look at in the car, it's hard to read anybody's message, and it's even hard to read the words in the super chat, but just the super chat has that big bright color, and it just kind of makes it easier to read the name. So sorry, I'm not trying to ignore anyone's comment. It's just it's hard to read them while you're driving on the road. It's a pretty small screen. But yeah, departing Minneapolis en route to Milwaukee. And stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think, I'm hoping it's going to be an engaging day with the students. So, I wish there was a way to read the chat. I'm sure people have some great thoughts and ideas, but I can make out Charmed One with a wrench. Shout out to Charmed One, always doing a great job with the moderating. I appreciate it. I see Mr. Scott wrote something, but I can't read it. It's too small. Okay, and also, I think, yeah, right, the Matrix is going to try to meet up with us in Detroit. And again, the Truth Virus is in Detroit. I'm really hoping that when I make it to Detroit, we get to meet the Truth Virus. You know. He's one of my favorite news analysts of all time, that's for sure. Woo, with the best sheep imitation there ever was. But yeah, you guys, again, thank you to the people in Minneapolis who came out tonight. It was a pleasure meeting everybody. And
well, yeah, guys, I think that concludes this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Probably make a better video on this on my main channel when I get it back. So yeah, I want to grow this channel too. This is like probably a worse version of the video I'm gonna make next. Sorry I've taken so long on my videos. I've been busy, but yeah, I should get off. So thanks to you guys on YouTube, Odyssey, especially Odyssey. Please support me on Odyssey. Subscribe to me, sign up, make an account. You know. So watch my videos, comment on there. You know, I want to be able to use it. You guys can be able to use it. It's a better, you know, there's true stuff on there. Zach's old stuff from Gematria Effect News 20, 21, 23, 24, 25. It's got them all. You know, all the new ones. Since 20, it has them all. Yeah. So yeah.